What is up, you guys? Matt here, and today we are back with another episode on the splash pad series. Today we are doing the concreting for the entire splash pad. The concrete is being done by Miller and Richard masonry contractors. We have them concreting everything, which everything's going pretty good. We're already ahead of everything, so I'm gonna basically just kind of jumping in and giving you guys a quick rundown. We're gonna go back and talk to my dad about it, but everything's going pretty smooth. They're already filling it up and just kind of getting it tapered in, and then they're gonna start smoothing it out and edging it, and then after that they're gonna basically do the pattern on it. I'm pretty sure what it's called. But let's head back and get my dad's opinion on it real quick while we're already talking. So I just got out here and they just finished pouring it. So they got it all filled up, but now they're what are they planning on doing now?
Well, right now they're cleaning up a lot of their tools that they're done using, and then they wanted to make sure everything was dished to the right pitch and make sure they had all the nozzles uncovered so that they know where everything is. And then now they're gonna get ready to start smoothing down the concrete, hitting the edges to put a radius on them, and then just to get ready for the color and the stamping.
Are you excited, or how do you feel about today?
Well, it's been quite a while to get to this point, and it seems nice now that everything's covered, as long as none of the plumbing's broke.
I mean, it's definitely really nice that we're finally at this point, because it's kind of weird now that we're finally here that it's like, well, how many more pours? You said 3 others after this?
Yeah, we got 3 other pours of concrete to finish up the job here. Next will be the pool pour, where we got everything backfilled this weekend. We put a epoxy primer around the pool to cover everything, to protect it, to at least keep it good for another 30 years. I put the form edging around, started to get ready for the forming up for around the pool, but we had to get the splash pad done first, because part of that forming is tying into the splash pad. So when they're done here today, then we'll break down the forms from around the splash pad and get ready to start forming for around the pool.
Right, and it is honestly exciting that we are almost done, because I mean, like after like the concreting video and all that stuff, like that was probably one of the worst parts of this whole journey, is the concreting.
Well, cutting the concrete, and it was in the 40s and raining, and it was miserable. There's some rough points, but
yeah,
we're here. We worked this weekend and it was 85, 88 degrees all weekend, and it was pretty brutal, but we got a lot done.
Yeah, I mean, today's 83 out, which the big reason why I'm excited is because we can get your pool filled back up and go
we can
swimming.
Start enjoying the water stuff. Yeah, so
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I need to be ready in 3 weeks, because we're having a 4th of July party, so I'd like to have at least a few day to a week buffer before the party to make sure everything's done.
But yeah, we'll definitely get some more footage on when they start doing it, and we'll probably cut back in about
towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end, because a lot of this is just kind of waiting, and I want to get footage of and basically just kind of show you guys the whole process through, and I'll probably jump in while they're doing some stuff and kind of give you an idea of what's happening, or he will. But we will see you guys in a split of a second after this montage. So they just finished up the splash pad concrete, and there's a few things that still obviously need to get done, like tomorrow, but we'll just kind of go into depth of what has been done. And we try to get as much footage of what has been happening, because we didn't, or at least I didn't want to like jump in while they were working and just kind of distract them in any way, shape, or form, get in their way or anything. So we just kind of got film or footage while they were working, and that's why every time you see us talk and we're kind of out of the way, either that or they're just done for
in
right
between,
now.
right?
Yeah. Which right now they're cleaning up their tools and just kind of relaxing, because they just finished stamping the concrete, and
It's been pretty hot today,
yeah, it's hot right now. It started raining for like
about 35 seconds.
Yeah. And then it just got humid.
Right.
But I guess we'll kind of give you guys a quick look and kind of talk about what still needs to get done, like tomorrow or whatnot.
Yeah, we got the stamp. It's like a seascape stamp form in the concrete, so that looks pretty sharp. So like we said, they just finished up. So basically tomorrow we need to cut a control joint into the concrete to prevent any cracking as much as possible. It's like a pin cushion, so the whole slab is technically weak as far as concrete's concerned, but we'll try to control that the best we can. But over time it will crack somewhere. But so we'll cut the control joint. We're gonna power wash all the color off, and then it'll leave the highlights, so we'll clean that off. We're gonna get out the leaf blower, dry the slab after we power wash it, and then once that's all dry, then we're gonna put a seal coat down. And we'll probably put in some gator grip, which is a traction control. Even though the stamp will have some traction, because the way it's stamped in, it gives it a little bit of grip. We'll add a little bit of gator grip in there, which will just create an anti-slip sealer for us.
Right. So what else are they gonna have to do before they actually head out for today?
They're pretty much done. They're leaving the mess for me because I'm taking care of everything. They got other things going on because the weather's been touch and go, so I said don't even worry about coming in. They said they'd cut the control joint, but there's no sense in them coming back for that. So we're gonna do that work, and then we'll pull the form off the pad tomorrow as well, and then we'll get ready to set up for the pour around the pool and get all those forms in place.
Yeah, so ideally the next time, I guess we'll probably cut here and then come back tomorrow, unless there's something else that we need to jump into.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, we are setting up the pool forms now, which we're gonna do a cantilever edge, which if you look over here, you can see that we got that starting to go around the pool, and we'll get that all installed tonight here, probably within a couple hours, and then get the perimeter of the forming all set, so that way they can come back in a couple more days and get that poured.
so that's basically it for right now.
Yeah, for right now, we're, like I said, we're gonna just work on taking care of the pool forming as much as we can, and then
Get that done in
tomorrow
advance.
we'll finalize everything with the splash pad anyways and get that sealed up to protect it.
All right. So we will see you guys in a second, unless something pops up and we need to talk about it, but we'll see you tomorrow. So we're finally back on day 2, and I didn't film, or I'm filming right now as we're kind of closing out the day because it's starting to rain, so we didn't get the sealer on it all. But I kind of want to just talk about how it went and like what were your thoughts throughout it. Were you nervous at any time?
No, I got a good crew of concrete guys, so like I said in previous videos, once we're done with this, it's up to them, and I just let them do their thing. We watched and did a little bit of other work while they were doing their work, and turned out pretty good.
I mean, they worked pretty fast. Like,
yeah.
I was surprised with actually how fast it went, because I thought it was gonna be like hourly process, but I mean, it got done in like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was about 2-3 hours max. Went by the time from start to finish, and they were in and out and on to another job.
So I do want to bring up, just so, because I don't think we really talked about it, is like the pattern that you went with. So what kind of gave you the idea of this pattern, or like how'd you come up with the idea of it all?
For the stamp?
Yeah, the stamp of it.
Yeah, the stamp, well, we wanted to do something fun, and we were just looking around trying to find ideas, and we were thinking we didn't want to do a traditional broom finish, which a lot of concrete guys do, especially in a wet area like this, to prevent any type of slippage. But I wanted to find a stamp that would kind of give you some grip, and nothing, we didn't want any like block, we wanted something fun. So we went with a seascape pattern. It's actually a Proline stamp. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's got starfish, seahorses, shell imprints, and it also gives you a little grip on here too. But talking about the grip, what we're also going to do when we do seal it, if it clears up here later today, is we're going to put a shark bite or some type of anti-slip grit into the clear coat too, just to give it that little extra grip.
Like a slightly aggressive type, or how aggressive?
Well, it depends on how much we put in. I don't want it to be too aggressive like sandpaper, but just enough to
if kids are running through,
if they're running through, they're not going to slip. And just being on this in the rain now, I can tell it's not very slippery. We don't have the clear coat on it yet either, so and we are going to go with a gloss just to give it that shine and that nice wet look anyways. So which the clear coat will create a little bit of slippage too, which is why we're going to add the anti-skid additive in there anyways, just to give it that little bit of grip.
But one more thing I want to bring up is, because from what I understand, like this is slightly different. This is going to be like a different color than the rest of the concrete. So what kind of, how'd you come up with the idea of like, or how'd you figure out that you wanted to put this like
well, if you look at the color, we went with kind of a beige look, which basically I wanted to distinguish this from the rest of the concrete pad. So I wanted it to kind of look beachy, since we went with that type of stamp, which gave it the beach look. I wanted to go with a sandy color pad, so it'll distinguish it from its own thing. It'll have that sand color, and just to be a little unique with it.
When do you actually plan on opening, like tearing all the tape off the nozzles and all that
and
stuff?
to get the fixtures ready? I'll probably seal it first, just leave it. Like I said, we're busy trying to form up for the other concrete too, because we have 3 weeks to get all the concrete in, and the way the weather's been, it's been complete garbage. It's raining almost every day, and if anyone knows anything about concrete, you can't pour in rain, and concrete guys don't want to do it because it's expensive and they don't want to screw it up, so you need nice sunny days for that.
Oh, and one more thing I want to bring up before we close out the video is with the cut line that you did. I forgot what the actual
control
name.
Joint.
With the control joint. So like, how'd you figure out like an idea of the place? Because from like what the one guy said is, with all like the holes regardless, they're also like stresses on the concrete regardless. So like,
that was one of the big things like we talked about. I mean, concrete will crack no matter what, so you put a bunch of holes in it, it weakens the structure. It's like Swiss cheese. So control joints, you want to put a control joint in most concrete jobs to basically control where the cracking happens. So if it does crack, we want it to crack right along that weak spot, because inherently concrete kind of wants to roll on itself over time, and it creates stress and it cracks. So if we can cut a nice straight line, and when it goes to crack, it cracks within the line where you can't even see it because the line's already there. That's what we want. Over time you will get some cracks, and if we see them, we'll repair them as they're happening, just to kind of hide them every season, because it's going to need to be resealed every season too. So
right. Well, I think we kind of hit all the bases. Ideally, I plan on, depending on when this video is released, I may end up throwing in just the sealing part of this video, depending on how quick we can get it, because it's supposed to rain this whole week. So depending on when this video plans on going out, maybe I'll toss it in after this, just so you guys get an idea of it.
Or it'll roll into
or
the assembly of
next video.
Right, the fixtures. Yeah, I mean, if I can get a break, whether you're here or not, I'm gonna get it sealed. So
yeah, and even if you get a video of it, just quickly I can toss it in and whatnot. But if you guys are enjoying this like season of the splash pad, feel free to click this playlist right up here, and it will just take you to the whole playlist of all these videos if you're curious about another thing or how we came up with the idea and whatnot. We went through basically everything, I'm pretty sure, up to this point. So if you guys are enjoying this, feel free to hit the like. If not, subscribe and leave a comment if you're curious about anything, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.